Okay guys, we're gonna take a look at status, okay? I know that in 2018, I promised I would stop rapping, but that would be biologically impossible, as if I were to stop crapping. Now, status, is that a coin that will go to the stratosphere? We don't know, but have no fear, because status might light up the skies like the aurora borealis. Or will it be like somebody I used to know, like my ex named Alice? Alice, I miss you, Alice. I miss you so much. I wish you'd come back. I'm just kidding, guys. There was never an Alice. Me used to date somebody named Alice? Yeah, right. There was only a Bob. Oh, Bob. I miss Bob so much. Just kidding, guys. The only lover in my life is Luna, okay? I'm completely 100% taken. Luna and I, we have a lot of memories, okay, guys? We have a lot of love for each other. So let's take a look at status, okay? It's a very new coin right now. I don't know anything about the fundamentals. Do I ever know anything about the fundamentals? No, not really at all. So the first thing that I do every time I look at a new coin is, first of all, I check out the symmetry of it, okay? The symmetry of it, where it was released, this was probably around the range of the ICO. I'm sure there was some ICO sale, right? It was probably around, I don't know, this range right around here, I'm guessing. Right here, and then people thought, oh yeah, everybody would buy it when it was released. So how long has it been on exchange for now? Let me just check coin market cap on it. Coin market cap status. It's only been around, it's only got data for probably a few days, right? I think everyone's been waiting for this. Oh wow, it has been around for a long time. My mistake. I stand corrected. It has been around since July, actually. It must have just been added recently to a lot of major exchanges, like, you know, SNT with status was just recently added to bitfinex, obviously, as well, right? So yeah, it's doing pretty well here. Here, I'll share it with you guys. It's doing pretty well at 1.75 billion market cap with quite a bit 24-hour volume. Where's the majority of the volume? Bitrex. Bitrex is rated, it's traded heavily, right? It's traded 30% of the volume in Bitcoin, and then Bitfinex is traded only 13% of the volume. I'm sure that this coin will pick up very soon in terms of volume. Now, for ranking, what is it at right now? Status. 32 right now. There's a lot of coins that we should be taking a look at. I'm probably going to jump through these and just take a look at each one. Lots of interesting coins. Cardano, that's the one that I was talking about right there. That's about to explode right now. Amazing. So, okay. So, every time, first of all, we got to go through the basics, okay? We got to go through theory in order for you guys to understand, right? If you guys were to take a math class or any engineering class, you know, that's my background. How do you understand stuff without the theory, right? You can't just jump into problem solving without understanding the theory. You can't just watch a technical analysis without understanding it either. So a basic impulse move up goes like this. First of all, we're going to talk about the beginning of time. The beginning of time, when an exchange is, or when a coin is added to an exchange, we usually see some sort of spike up like this, okay? I'm not going to bother doing an analysis from anywhere else. I'm only going to do it for where I see it, which is enough data for now to reflect what has been going on. And it also gives us nice new stuff. So when a coin is added, it usually does some sort of ABC correction in here, right? It spikes up with a big bar, green bar, if we, depending on the time frame we look at, and then it gets dumped. Like, we've never seen a trend other than that, right? Other than like when it's a very established, popular coin already, right? Like, you know, it might be very different, right? Like if Ethereum was added to another exchange or Bitcoin right now, it wouldn't really affect it that much, right? So after we see this, what we see now is, what we want to see is 5 impulse waves up, okay? 3, 4, 5, going up like that. And a 2-hour one, I've noticed, is a really good one. And then after the 5, what happens is we get another types of corrections. And you know, you might want to get a basic ABC in here like that. And then what happens next you know, what happens after it breaks out of C here can determine many things, right? Depending on the shape as well. So some of the shapes that we like to see is an ascending triangle, for example, right? Like that, where sometimes ABC, you know, it can land somewhere like that. That's like a double top. It's really, really strong when we see stuff like this, right? But we don't really see these really often at all. It doesn't really happen. So, you know, other variations that we see is like ABC, like here maybe, okay? And then this makes kind of like a symmetric triangle like that. Yeah, like a symmetric triangle, for example, like that. And then sometimes it makes a D touch in here, and then an E touch as well, right? So these are the important things to understand. But the most important thing to take away from this is that it makes an A wave down, usually with 5 substructures like this. Don't mind the slant or the slope of it, okay? It's just as an example. And then it does an ABC going up like that, right? ABC. And this A can also be a 3-wave structure as well, called a 3-3-5, or it can be a 5, like this one here is a typical zigzag, for example, down here, where it would be a 5-3-5. And then we have an A, B, C going up, where within wave B here, I'm going to draw it really big, within wave B going up, right, we can sometimes see a double top if it's very bullish. You guys have seen that before, double tops, right? Things like that happens. For example, we've seen it here. It can retrace back here. We can even see wicks poke out of here sometimes like that. So for the B that I was talking about, we get another corrective A, B, C in here. I'm not going to change the denotation of it, okay? Or the how it's denoted. Is that a word, denotation? Anyways, and then we get 5 going up here, 5 very small ones, right? And it comes in so many different ways, and it has the characteristics of a 5th leading wave for anyone. And then in this one, we get an A, B, C inside of here, and then inside of here, we also get a 5-wave structure in here. And then this one always gets 5 waves coming down, okay? Always 5 waves coming down. And our most popular pattern is this right here, which is a wedge that likes to be in the C shape right there in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. C loves to be in a wedge, okay? It loves to be in a wedge. A lot of people think that this is a wedge right here, right? For example, this is a wedge in here. Yeah, sure, we'll do like that. You know, and C, and let's just say C was somewhere in here. Sometimes people mistaken this for a wedge right at the diagonal when it's not really like that at all. Like A, B, C, like that, for example. Okay, the only reason this happens, it makes 1, 2, 3, 4. Wedges that break out only happen in C shape. That's officially considered one. We'll make one like that. Just looks a little bit nicer, I guess. Whatever. Like that, okay? The only reason is because it attempts an impulse up, right, for the D wave here, and sometimes it's just coincidentally, you know, when it does the corrective one, and then it breaks out of it, right? So people think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, but don't do that. That's a big mistake. The wedge only comes in the C, or a 5th wave, right? Like a 5th wave going up, I mean, or a 5th wave on the A coming down, right? Like this. Or it can happen in the entire C wave once again. So just be very clear about that. If you guys read any Elliott wave books, you'll also see that as well, right? Like there. That happens in the C position like this. And this wedge is perfectly acceptable. Like that. So this is a lot of theory, right? But the reason why it's important is because lately we've been dealing with very old coins, I guess, right, that have been established for an incredibly long time. But let's take a look at SNT Let's go to Bittrex. Let's see how long it's been around on Bittrex for. Let's go to a daily. I mean, it did nothing. It was like at, let's see when the official date of an uptrend was. 24, 25, like November-ish, okay? And that was like in the 70 cents range. Or the 0.07, I mean. But let's see SNT on bitfinex. Let's just see if we can actually use the same one or not. Yeah, I think we can use the same one. Let's compare one more time, okay? Sorry to bear with you guys. I just don't want to stop the video. Where was it? Here we go. I'd say it's about the same actually, if not identically mirrored. Yeah, I noticed it being the exact same because I've already done the wave count. It's planned for this video. Okay, we're good, guys. We're good. Hey, you guys like my microphone? It's a little bit better, right? It doesn't do that thing anymore. I just hooked it up to USB instead of using it for Wi-Fi. I like to use my phone for a lot of things, put it that way. Okay, so here, first of all, we notice here when it spikes up, right? We would call this the A, the B, and the C, right here, right? Right there. And now what we notice is more theory. Lesson time. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, like that, okay? If this could be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, going up like this right here. I'm just going to move it over a little bit, right? Within each subwave, there are waves within waves and fractals within fractals, right? That ebb and they flow every single place in the charts, right? So you notice these are called 5 subwaves within wave 3 here, okay? And this is on a 2-hour chart. If we zoomed in on a lower time frame, we would actually see much more as well. So first of all, what we see are waves like this right here. And if we actually zoom in really closely on a different time frame for practice, it's really good to practice, guys, on new coins like this, okay? Because you don't get a chance often. Usually you're dealing with coins like Ethereum or Bitcoin or Litecoin or IOTA or, you know, not IOTA, it's just been around for a while, like Ripple, for example, as well, like OmiziGo, like just some of the coins that recently got popular around like August, right? Like around that. And before, you know, there was a lot of different coins as well that, man, early 2017 was a fun year as well, but we're going to focus on the last quarter that's leading up to this year, right? Just to be very relevant. And we already know that Status is going to be a really hot coin. You guys just can't focus on the old coins, right? The old coins that we've been seeing, like Neo, OmiziGo, IOTA, you know, XRP's had its run already, right? You guys got to focus on new coins as well, right? Like what else was old that we were focusing on a lot? Dash, a little bit of Zcash there as well. I said IOTA and EOS, I'm sure. Monero had its day like around September when it was added and it spiked up so hard. You know, what else? SAN. What is SAN again? I forget, but that ran up as well. We had Ethereum Classic run up. Every single one of those coins went up. Okay, guys. If you guys have noticed something about every single one of those coins I mentioned, they have all gone up by hundreds to thousands of percents in months. Now we need to focus on these new coins that are added to Bitfinex because the majority of coins that are doing 10 million, like how Status is, there's a good $10 million of volume on one exchange alone, and it's not even the majority of the exchange pair traded. The majority is Bitcoin, right? And Bitcoin is being traded on Bittrex right now for over 30% of it. Bitfinex only has, I think, 10 to 12% or something like that. So, and it's still fairly new, and we can just tell by the chart something major is going on. So we gotta shift our focus from the coins that are currently consolidating right now, guys, the coins that are currently consolidating that have had its run up during the third major wave while we're waiting to focus on these new coins that are being added, right? And we know that 2018 is a really hot year for new coins to be added. So before, I never really hunted for old coins. I just day traded the coins that I was focused in already, because nothing new really came along on bitfinex until now, right? So now, bear with me guys while we take a look at a lot of new coins. So hopefully I've inspired you guys to keep track a little bit. If not inspired, then motivated your lazy butts. I'm just kidding, you guys aren't lazy. So we're gonna count here on a 2-hour chart. Okay, right here. Some people would say, oh, this is ABC right here, okay? That's what some people would say. ABC, and we're done, right? But I can't count it like that yet, because I also have to count it like this as well first. And we're going to see different variations. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we ask ourselves, can we count like that? Sure can. Let's see if we can zoom in and see different ones in here. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold on, 1, 2. Yeah. Let's see if we get 5 waves in here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's see if we get a simple ABC. This whole thing is a corrective pattern. Right here. A, B, C, I'm guessing. Where C fell short to the top. So we'll say it's around there. And then wave 3 makes its way down to here. But then if we labeled it like that, then wave 3 is too short, right? Think of it, guys. Okay, let's just say I labeled it just like the way I did. We have to be able to deduce these. If that was wave 1, maybe this is wave 2. Right? 3, 4, and 5. Let's see if it looks better on a 2-hour chart. Yeah, it looks a lot better on a 2-hour chart, doesn't it? Yeah, it looks a lot better on a 2-hour chart. But let's see if wave 1 is actually longer or shorter than wave 3. Wave 3 is shorter than wave 1, which is not good. Well, let's test it again with just the bar. Yes, it is shorter, but is it longer than wave 5? Yes, it is longer than wave 5. So it now meets the requirement that wave 3 is often the longest, but never the shortest. Okay? So that does make 5 going down there. So does this mean that this is A, B, C, right? See, this is one variation. That's A, B, C, just like that already in here. I'm actually drawing it wrong. Do you guys hear Luna barking? Yeah, wave 3 is way longer than wave 5. So that's good here. Here, this one just honestly looks like a straight up ABC. A, B, and C. Nothing else to see in here. Right? Yeah. Here, let's see if we can see anything on 45. 1, 2, like 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we count 5 in there. We count ABCs in there. We count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it looks like the ABC has now been formed. Therefore, we are breaking out, guys. Okay? So I want to be clear about that right now it looks like we are breaking out, or attempting to, because the ABC, it has been drawn. I don't know how else to see it right now. I don't know how to count this as 5 waves, because this wave, if this was wave 4 going up, it's overlapping a lot into these waves territory, right? Because if we try to count 5 waves coming down like this, for example, 1, 2, where's the 3rd wave? That makes sense. 3, 4, 5, right? But now, if we did this, where's the 5 waves in the wave 3? That's the dilemma. Is it here? 1, 2, 3. Ah, there. That makes sense now too. Okay, let's just say that this was the right wave count over here, okay? And then we did an analysis like this with A, B, C, D, and E, like that, with a slight throw over. And then we have something like this. So guys, the reason why we're being so thorough with what I'm doing right now is because we need to establish guidelines and rules of how to evaluate. So then once we are done solving this puzzle, because that's all that these are, and you guys need to understand that these are nothing more than a puzzle, guys. Okay, and once you solve the puzzle and it makes sense, you establish your buy zones so clearly, and you establish your risk to reward as well. You got your strategy, guys. Okay, you got your strategy. You're going into the game, you've practiced. Okay, you know your opponents, what they're gonna do. You know their hand already. You know all their plays. You know everything in their tricks up their sleeves, right? That's why we study these charts. We study these charts so we can find out exactly what they're doing, so we can plan to try to be more right than we are wrong, right? And if we study charts, then we know their habits as well. That's why I'm being so thorough when I'm doing all of this. And I'm trying to give you guys my train of thought as well to how I think and evaluate as I'm trying to do this right here. So wave 5, this was it right here. It was really strong, right? It was a really strong one, and it didn't show any signs of anything. Wave 3 here is obviously the strongest, right? We can count 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in here. This one, I guess, just did a simple ABC going up because wave 2 did the triangle here. So this is a very valid one as well. That is incredibly valid, right? Where all of this is wave 1, okay? And then it's doing an ABC correction. A, B, like, I don't know, C or something. But I prefer the first one is more. What do you guys like better? I've showed you guys both variations of it, right? Both variations of it, where we don't know exactly which wave count was right, where this was A basically, and this is B, and this is, you know, C down there, right? I count 5 waves in there, and I count 5 waves here, going down no matter what. 1, 2. Yeah, I'm very confused, but let's just assume that this is the bottom for now, okay guys? Let's assume that this ABC is the bottom, because what we see is a really healthy retracement right now. We see a very healthy retracement that already went to the 0.5 region. So we're going to assume that this is ABC. And symmetrically as well, it also looks more better, right? It looks better. ABC. Let's just see that this was A already right here, and that was B, right? And that was C. that doesn't really look too symmetric for a wave 1 to have that big of a correction for that small of an impulse. This looks more proportional. So let's assume that this right here is indeed the bottom right here, okay? So if I just did Fibonacci extensions and assume that this was the bottom, like, longer term, guys, longer term, like really long term, I don't know how long this consolidation is going to take, but let's just assume that that was the absolute bottom, and after the consolidation, we're looking at over, like, we're looking at about $1.20, $1.20, that's right, I said $1.20, I'm going to stand by it, but I want you guys to know that this could very well fail to break out. This could very well fail to break out, okay? And so right now what it's attempting is wave 3. But if this does fail, then what this ends up becoming is an X point, okay? And it ends up failing a lot over resistance points. So right here, for example, it's failing, as we can see already, right? Do you guys see the wicks poking out right here? We're also getting some nasty candles. Nasty candles of big rejection. In fact, let's see what the last hour candle just formed. Yeah, some pretty not so nice looking candles. So we can kind of do this right here, right? On a 3-hour chart, for example, we can draw resistance kind of like that and consider some of them bull traps. But on a 4-hour chart, it probably looks the best, just like that. So we have a good idea of what's going on, which is we're facing a resistance right now. Gee, I want one that intersects both of them. Is there any? Right here. This one here is the most appealing to me on a 1-hour chart. That makes the most sense. There we go. Beautiful, okay? And now we're going to see how it looks on a 1-hour chart as well. Not bad. So we have a lot of points. We have this point right here, and we don't know if it failed to break out yet or not. How are we going to know? Well, people are going to try to be buying around like the 618 Fibonacci level right here at the 42 cents, right? Now, if this wave retraces more than 100%, so that would be at 36 cents. If it retraces more than 36 cents, then we have a complete failure of an impulse wave up. Now, what a complete failure ends up doing is this. Any symmetry that we can find, not this one, not like Dash and EOS. Now, if it ends up failing, it does more waves down, actually. And it's going to correct further, because it retraced 100% already. Failed waves do happen all the time. Now, guys, where do you see a relevant point? A, right here. Where's the next one you see? C, right? Right there. What are you guys noticing so far? You're noticing so far a channel, right? On a 3-hour different time frame, it's probably just a wick. 4-hour, let's see. There you go. On just a 4-hour time frame, we're now considering it just wick to wick, right? We drew the 2-hour resistance, the resistance on the 2-hour because that looks appealing, and we drew the support on the 4-hour because it's just wick to wick now, right? So we'll just, you know, that's our C point. Yes, it is, right? But I'm just going to draw it here from wick to wick just to give you guys an idea. So now this looks like it's going to fail up there, right? It looks like it's going to fail. So what can happen is even something like this. Maybe a wedge like that, depending on how supports are. Maybe something like that if this support holds more true, right? If that fails, I'm just saying if it fails, right? And then, you know, it depends on many factors. So yeah, so if this ends up failing, what could end up happening is it could retrace much more than that, maybe even reach the 618 level again, a second time. Something like that, maybe. And then if this happens, what we call it is a double Elliott wave combo. Every time I see it, it makes me want to laugh because it's just so ridiculous how many times corrections can happen. We have a double Elliott wave combo, which, you know, I love how TradingView puts it on here. It just makes it so convenient. And then within double Elliott wave, I can't even say it, double Elliott wave combo, you get another ABC correction like that. And that's how it's annotated. Okay? Yeah, so right now I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna chill, I'm gonna wait to see how far this retraces right here, okay? Because if this was the attempt of wave 1, right here, wave 1, that's wave 2, and if this is wave 3, wave 4, I'm going to use the rule of wave 4 cannot retrace into the territory of wave 1 with guidelines by, I'm going to say like on a 2-hour chart, by like maybe one candle, maybe 2 at most. It has to be followed by a red and a green though. So I'm going to use this right here as a gauge of retracement right here around this range, whatever this candle is. Let's see it. It's like 38 or something. Whatever that candle is. The low is 38, it says. No, I meant the high. What's the high? 4401. 44.4, sorry. 444. That's where it is. Okay. I'm just trying to do it with precision now. 444. It's kind of my number. Okay. I'm gonna wait to see if it retraces much into the 444 region, which will make a very nice and healthy retracement of about between 0.5 and 618 region right here. Right here will be my buy zone if I find support. If and only if I find support. I will wait to find to buy in here if we find support. If it keeps falling down lower than the 0.5 and falls even lower than the 618 region, right? Then I'm going to consider it a failed first wave attempt, and then we will talk. And then this right here, you know, might be very valid, right? This right here might be very valid. Like this as well. So we might get something like this maybe. Right? We might get something like that, we'll see. It becomes a failed attempt. If this were the case, right, and we end up wedging in here, you know, we might even be able to call it something like this right here. Like an A, B, C, D, E. Although I think the A, B, C happened already. But we'll see what happens. I think that it's honestly going to correct for a little bit longer. Nevertheless though, when we are done correcting, whether it is in this shape that we see right here that I just drew, or whether it is in this shape right here, a flag consolidation of some sort, of a channel or wedge, whatever, nevertheless, the target stands that when a breakout does officially occur, that the minimum target based on Fibonacci is, my target is still going to be, hold on, am I reading this right? If that is the lowest absolute point, regardless of how much we correct really, it's going to shoot for a third wave and go for a target of, I'm going to guess, $1.20 like I mentioned before. Yeah, $1.20. So yeah, it might even be attempting it right now as well, right? But I don't think that it is, to be honest. I'm sorry guys, I don't think that it is. I think it's facing this resistance that I drew in here already. I think that it's gonna try maybe one more, and then I think we're gonna end up getting some pattern like I drew earlier. I forgot exactly where it was, but it was something like that in there, right? I might get a little bit of a pattern, and then we might make one more ABC correction from here. A, B, maybe not even that extreme, maybe just a small one here, like that. You guys want to see, for example, ETP? How many double or triple Elliott wave combos do you think occurred here? So, right, we got to right here, right? Or we got to about, I don't know, where are we right now? Maybe around this level here. So people, when we were at, you know, $6.24 when it first came out, and it came back to $3, people couldn't believe it, right? But if you look in here, like it made a lot of different attempts to break out before it actually broke out. And this one did many Elliott wave combos to try to break out of here, and just failed. Like this one was a failed one right here, right? This one was an utter fail right here. If you guys take a look at it, it was a failed attempt because the wave retraced all the way back down lower than this point over here. Flash crash or not, it was actually by a significant amount as well, right? So that one was a failed attempt. So what we end up calling it, if you guys notice this correction in this here, after the failed attempt, it made another ABC, but because here it was so strong, it ended up basically making an ABC in here, like that. So now we're officially on the first impulse wave of the third wave. I wish I caught it here. So just to give an example of ETP, like that's the first wave only, really. So lots to go. So anyways, we're going back to status. So guys, the target is $1.20, okay? $1.20 is the target for long term, but you guys gotta just keep in mind of failed breakout attempts, and just keep in mind the main supports, which you should draw in yourself just in case, right? Just draw in yourself this trend line like that I'm drawing in. Actually, this trend line should probably be like that. Maybe even like that. We don't really know yet. We don't really know yet. So my video today is more geared towards long-term investors, right? But now we're gonna go towards the indicators and move there, go to more of the basics. So if we look on the here, it's bullishly diverging pretty hard right now on the 3 hour. On the daily, there's no daily yet because it hasn't been out here long enough, but it's bullishly diverging hard. It's super bullishly diverging right now. 15 minutes just spiked up hard into super bullish zones. So it is absolutely attempting a breakout, guys, okay? So this is my play, and I'm going to be very clear about it right here, okay? I'm going to be super crystal clear about it. I don't know if this is going to be an actual break up or not, right? So I'm going to wait just until a retracement probably of the next wave up. Okay? So I'm going to see, I'm going to let this, or sorry, not that one there. I'm gonna let this one form the 5 waves, because it's only going to be the first 5, or sorry, the 3 waves. 1, 2, wherever the 3 ends up there, 4, wherever the 5 ends up, you know, wherever like that. Oh geez, it actually made it already. Let's use fib extension. Yeah, this could be wave 1 already, right up there. All of that could be something like that over there already, okay? So I'm just gonna wait to see how much it retraces, guys. Honestly, that's what I'm gonna do. That's the game plan. I'm just gonna wait for a small correction. And that's kind of it. So these are my thoughts for status right now. I'm gonna wait for a small correction to see how much this retraces, and just to make sure it doesn't retrace all the way back into these regions right here. But it does look like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is, or the ABC has occurred already. So let's hope we don't get an extended correction, right? I'm going to wait to see if this retraces to a respectable level, and I'm just going to buy into it and hope that it stays bullish that way. Right now we're getting a little bit rejected already, as you guys can notice. That's why it's sell-offs. It's just reaching a peak right now. That's why I'm talking about waiting for a correction, okay? So I'm going to be interested again right away, you know, if it hits between these regions right here. You guys might want to turn your heads to that way as well. If it falls down to this buy zone right here, where there's heavy volume, right, and support, just even extending down here at extreme to cover extremes, this is a really strong buy zone. So I'm going to see if it retraces up to the 382 level. So I'm looking to buy between 39 and 42. So keep in mind, like, I'm no financial advisor, okay, guys? I'm just letting you know what I'm hoping for right now, okay? I'm seeing wicks poking up right now, so it might even create like a shooting star. So yeah, I'm still interested. I'm just thinking this is correction time. So once again, I'm looking to be interested between 39 and 43 again. If it ever goes down to that price, I regret not looking at it more yesterday when it was like 2 days ago when it was literally a quarter. Now it has doubled. It's done 100%. So yep, 39 to 42, and longer term target is about $1.20, guys. Looks like a very interesting coin. Very interesting coin, the charts. It's just reading really well right now. So this, if you guys are holding this coin very long term, it's one of those coins that looks really good. Chart wise, looks incredible to be holding because it's also so cheap. I mean, it peaked at 69 cents before. It's obviously going to do it again. It's not just going to die off. I can't see a coin like this dying off that's retracing a very decent amount, has a really strong uptrend right now as well. You know, so yeah, it's a coin I'll be interested in between 39 and 42. Once again, I know I've said that like 5 times, but I just want to let you guys know how I'm taking a look at this coin. So I'm waiting to see if it's going to make a failed break attempt or not. If it does, is it going to fall even lower than this point here? If it does, then we get a flag consolidation. We get a flag type consolidation, right? Or sorry, if it falls below this point, we get a flag consolidation. If it doesn't, then we might end up getting a consolidation kind of like that, right? If it doesn't fall below this level, I mean, it might land up somewhere in here. So for all we know, guys, this could have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Okay, I wanna go back one thing. This could I could have just counted it wrong, and this could have just been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. 5 against the trend, and then this could have been just A, B, C. Like in hindsight, I think that this might be more right. And then now it's gonna try to do a small 5, right? Or it's might do a small 5. Okay, like that. But I still am, guys, I still am going to be interested in where I said between 39 and 42, because I want to see if it can break a resistance that it has established already, right? If it cannot break it, then it's going to be a failed wave here. But one way to look at it is this could also be A, B, and C, right? And if that does ultimately lead into an apex point in there, then that could be A, B, C, D, and E, right? So this coin is a little bit behind the pack right now for everything that's going on, and we're being left with very limited data. But I do want to be clear that the signs do look very bullish right now. That is why we want to look at the price again, maybe between 39 and 42. And I might even increase my range there, okay? I might even be interested again on the higher side of things. So instead of just 39 and 42, I might even be interested in around the 45 range as well. So I'll keep my eye and set my alerts between 39 and 45 here, I guess, just to see what happens around this buy zone. But right now, I don't have the FOMO, and you guys shouldn't either, of missing out just because we saw a really good one-to-one retracement that's far down the road, okay? So what you guys should do is know that what it has done and what it has retraced and what it can do, right? And now also know that it will attempt to break out most likely, right? But there are many different scenarios of wave counting, and we don't know what we are doing exactly in terms of a wave count until it has happened in hindsight. But usually for an impulse wave up, it is very, very easy, as I've showed you guys, okay? It's very, very, very easy. So, but for a corrective pattern, it's very different as well. If you guys have looked at other videos on YouTube, people like Hyjin especially as well, he's got a lot of trouble counting the waves as much as I do, right? We both do, because it's very subjective, and there are many different alterations of these wave counts. So that's why we doubt ourselves. But I just want to give you guys an idea of how to approach a new coin that's added. Long-term target still sits, guys, at $1.20, provided that we don't correct further than this, regardless of when consolidation happens and for how long. Eventually when it breaks out, it's going to gun for $1.20. That's all I can say. So have yourselves a great night, guys, and I appreciate you watching this video. I have a blog on Steemit about this as well, okay guys? I've got a blog on Steemit, and I'd really appreciate if you guys took a look on there. If you want to read a simplified version on there instead of watching a video, you're welcome to as well. And a vote would be kindly appreciated as well. And I'd appreciate also, I think I've said that word like 5 times now, right? You guys can, if you like these videos, you can upvote Steemit, you can subscribe, like, follow, etc. on YouTube. I feel like when I make these videos now, I just say what comes to mind, and it's like just like reading a book or something. It's like playing a game, and I'm just narrating the game and what I'm doing, and like what are some of the strategies, what are some of the plays. So and yeah, if you guys especially like the video, of course you can donate to Luna's cryptocurrency piggy bank. That's my alcoholic dog, for those that don't know. Other than that, have yourselves a great night, guys. Take it easy. $1.20 is a target once again. See you.